And it's me.
For better or for worse, it's you.
Aw. I'll take it as a compliment insult.
Sure.
I'm just kidding.
What?
How do you do? We're about to unfold the story of
Ghost of Frankenstein.
My son, would you destroy that which I, your father, dedicated his life to creating? What if it had another brain?
Whose brain?
Your brain.
Power! What good is a brain without eyes to see?
I warned you that you might regret this action.
Well, we've warned you.
You've been warned. Welcome back to Frankenstein Minute, the podcast that dissects the Universal Frankenstein film series minute by minute. I'm Bill Evenson.
Something like that. I'm Thom Lang. You join us for minute 55 of 1942's All New Thrills.
Sammy Hagar's favorite minute.
You can't.
Or his least favorite
minute. You can't watch
can't
this. Can't even watch this.
He just
minute.
looks away for a whole minute.
And everything Sammy Hagar does, I look away from. So no.
I
No.
generally don't like Sammy Hagar, but you know, I take it back. I gotta be honest, about half of it I like. My thing was he became the lead singer of Van Halen, and then I didn't like anything after that. I like one of the songs he did. But the older stuff he did with Montrose, I thought some of that was
don't know
fun.
any
It's
of
just dumb. I think some people call it butt rock. It's just dumb.
Okay.
It's fucking dumb, and it's great. And his autobiography is charming
You're
too.
going way more detail than we need. And
If you're joining us on June 6th, the Thursday, if you're a Patreon, whatever, we're mourning the death of E.E. Clive, also known as C.C. Clive,
C.C. Clive. Oh.
due to a less than
stellar typesetter doing the Bride of Frankenstein poster, which is then carried over to the Bride of Frankenstein soundtrack CD, and then again on the La La Land.
the La La Land
And it's also
vinyl.
also on the cover of the Magic Image film book, which I referenced
right.
a few weeks ago.
We're also celebrating the birth of R.C. Sheriff.
Oh,
Is that
sure.
the guy who wrote Old Dark House?
Yeah.
Oh, excellent work. Tomorrow, if you're joining us on Friday, June 7th, I have nothing from the classic monster genre, but it's
Okay.
Prince's birthday.
All right.
He was born in 1958. Sunday, we will be mourning the death of Peter Coe, and I have no idea who that is.
Peter
But
Coe.
I made this, so I must have known who he was.
He's in House of Frankenstein,
Okay.
and he's in one of the Mummies.
Good enough for me.
Yeah.
Also celebrating the release of The Invisible Man's Revenge.
Okay.
And that's all I got.
All right then. Thanks for joining us.
Good night.
Yep. Oh, you got to get to bed anyway, so let's call it
That's a good point.
2 minutes.
Okay, that's plenty, right?
Yeah.
We can work with this.
2 minutes, that's plenty. In the previous minute, Frankenstein started to say and continues to say operations must be timed with the utmost precision. So don't fuck it up again, Bomer, is the input.
Well, that's just it. Is this what happened to Bomer?
It seems like he's kind of not scolding him but rubbing
Almost
his face
scolding.
in it, kind of like.
And then he says, then what does he say?
Well, this points out that each guy is working on a different brain.
Yes, that's true.
Any delay in the transfer will mean failure.
So don't go.
Well, you know what that feels like, don't you, Bomer?
Oh, snap. So don't go farting around with Igor in the back. Oh, snap. That'd be great.
I'm going to dub it in.
I think we can do this.
Yeah.
So don't go farting around with the brain, poking it with a stick, or playing basketball with it. Stick it in a pan and get it in here. Forthwith.
Nice.
Then he says, exactly, sir.
Yeah.
Which is like him acknowledging, I know.
Yeah, okay. Fuck you.
Jesus Christ. But when he says this, what are they looking at? Ludwig looks over at something that's way up high on the wall or something, and then Bomer looks at it too. So there's probably some
mechanism or some machinery.
Gauge.
Yeah, because they're clearly not looking at the monster because he's below them on the table.
Right.
I don't know what they're looking at. Shall I proceed?
No. What the fuck did I just say?
Yeah, what did I just fucking say?
That's all I got for that.
Is the water warm enough? There's another.
Hey, look at this! Is a happy birthday.
Yeah. Ludwig turns on the musical lamp.
Okay, as I just wrote, this music sting is awkward. I like it. Like if you were just playing it in the car with no context, I'd be like, that's kind of cool. I wonder what happens in that part.
Yeah.
And you watch the movie, nothing.
He turns on a light.
Nothing at all happens.
Yeah.
Turns on a light. Is that Cheney?
No,
Nah,
I don't believe it is.
It doesn't look like him. Doesn't not look like him. It's fine. I'm not complaining. It just, I'm sure it's
probably Eddie Parker.
Could be Eddie Parker.
Or it
Kinda
could
looks
be
a bit like Eddie Parker, but it doesn't look
also
unlike Cheney.
It also looks like Glenn Strange, so who knows?
Yeah, that's true. Could be.
It could be
honestly,
anything.
could be Lugosi. It's not Lugosi.
Yeah. So Bulmer exits and Ludwig masks up. What a snowflake.
Oh. Yep.
Too soon?
I don't know.
Not soon enough?
Seems very appropriate.
Okay.
Not soon enough. Yeah.
All right. Pulls the sheet back. Yeah, not sure that's Cheney lying there. Meanwhile, in an auxiliary operating room maintained at a very low temperature.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, that's a good. Thank you.
Yeah.
I like this podcast.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, at least
That's
one of
great.
us does.
Yeah, I might be the only one left. Yeah, it does look like that. And I don't know about it being maintained at a very low temperature, but I live in the frozen north in Minnesota, and a very low temperature, you can usually see your breath.
Yes.
So maybe that's not what's going on.
Well, maybe they warmed it up for this, but
yeah, that's true.
I've mentioned before when they first talked about the auxiliary operating room maintained at a very low temperature that the operating rooms I've been in for operations have been cold.
Yeah, they're not warm, but you've had more operations than I have. I have been in a room where an operation took place, where my children were operated out of a lady's tummy.
Yeah.
And then I had a colonoscopy a couple of years ago where they knocked me out,
But that's really not a procedure.
No, but it's close, right? It's kind of there's a room. It's a procedure room, I guess, instead of an operating room.
But that's different. And then they maintain that at a regular temperature.
Oh, do they? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then I had my my wisdom teeth pulled out.
Again,
which
different.
No one could find surprising.
Yeah.
That I have no wisdom teeth. Anyway.
Yeah, I've had a couple of.
But I got knocked out for it, so I consider that an operation.
Yeah, I've had a couple of angiograms. It's been cold in there for that.
This is kind of an unusual time for you. It's been a while since you've had an operation. It's got to have been 3 months.
Over a year. So
since you had your shoulder done?
I'm getting antsy.
You need another operation? Yeah. Well, maybe time to get some, what do people our age get done? Your
get my hips
wrinkles or something? Oh,
get my hips.
I was going to say some cosmetic surgery.
Oh, some cosmetics? Well, I got
a lot of recommendations on that front if you need some.
All right.
Anyway, so
know.
In this auxiliary, here's what I wrote. I try to write fast so that I can go back to the minute. I wrote, I like elbow, because I like when Bomer uses his elbow to shut the door because it's just him. Like the nature of what they're doing. I like this. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but it feels like that helps to set the stage for the fact that this is 2 guys doing illicit shit.
Yeah.
There's not a team of people helping them out here.
Right.
And I got to close the door with my fucking elbow because I don't have an intern to push this gurney in with Igor on.
Yep. Well, it's also keeping his hands clean.
Well, yes, exactly.
He's not touching this filthy
they
door.
go together, though.
Yeah.
I mean, he can't use his. Yeah. The secondary operating room, it's a bit of a shithole. Like it's got one bulb.
It's smaller than the room we're sitting in right now.
Yeah. And it's got one light bulb, and if that goes out, I guess it didn't go well.
It doesn't have a musical lamp like the other one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's true. The main operating room where Ludwig works has like a string section.
It's got like you turn the light on, the string section.
What do they call that? Like not a full string, not a full orchestra, but like a
chamber orchestra or a.
That's probably better than what I was going to say, but like a string quartet or something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Chamber orchestra. I like that.
Anyway, I must warn you, this operation may not be successful. I fucked it up plenty of times before. So.
They said that before my root canal, actually. This could mean the end of everything.
Yeah.
Do you have a DNR on file? He should ask him that.
Actually, when I had the bypass, I did have to fill out end-of-life instructions and a DNR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that your life since then is like a dream or like a nightmare, and like you're still laying there?
Still laying on the table, yeah.
I think that's my working theory for the history of this podcast. It's all a fever dream of yours. It seems like Bomer has the harder job here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Ludwig just has to take up a fucked up brain out.
Yeah, he's just got to unscrew those clamps on the
Well,
top
that's
of
true.
the
He
head,
can just
pop the
Pop
lid
it
off.
and the brain is fucked.
just
Yank it out, scrape it out with a spoon, and chuck it in the garbage.
Ice cream scoop.
Go a scoop at a time if you
Yeah.
haven't. Might as well. Yep. Just
Yep.
to make sure nobody reuses it by mistake.
And Bomer has to keep this thing pristine and alive, basically.
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is all on Bomer.
It is.
And I think, I'm sure I'm reading too much into it, but that Ludwig would be like, "Yeah, let's see if you can do it." You fucked up again,
Fucked it up
Bomer.
again.
Good old Bomer.
But if it works, of course, Ludwig gets all
the credit.
Yeah.
That's our Ludwig.
Igor has his pity party.
Yeah, all right. I'm sorry. I don't know why that's making me laugh so much because ordinarily, he did ask for it. I mean,
Yeah, he is asking.
so you can't really pity the guy too much.
I don't, but he's like, better.
I like that he plays it medicated.
Yes, he is. Yeah,
I mean, he's probably on morphine at this point, right? Or 42? Is he
yeah. I
a
think
morphine
he was
addict?
already starting to. Yeah.
Yeah. So he gets.
He gets what it's like to be.
Bela, can you play it kind of drugged?
Already
cake.
there, halfway there.
Already halfway there, buddy. Don't gotta worry about. You don't gotta worry about me. I'm a professional.
There again, like Cheney's drinking. That's something that's probably
true.
exaggerated quite a bit.
Neither one of these operations. This. How did he react to the spinal? Who cares?
Yeah,
It's fine.
He's whatever.
Everybody's sufficiently drugged up.
Came in pickled already.
Oh, boy.
Igor said, better a life like this. No, better death than a life like this. Now that I have seen the promise.
Yeah, now I assume he means the 1917 silent film The Promise.
Yeah.
One of the 25 films starring Harold Lockwood and May Allison before Lockwood died of the Spanish flu in 1918, which derailed, strangely enough, both of their careers.
Yeah.
Harold Lockwood's career never recovered.
No, it never
And
did.
then her career just kind of never hit those heights again.
Right.
That was that's all I got.
Well, and a brilliant light snuffed out far too soon.
Harold Lockwood?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Here's what's and I think Jackie said this morning too. Better death than a life like this. Okay, well let's just be clear. So you're Igor with a broken neck, but we're gonna put your brain in this fucking
Goon.
I mean,
You'd rather be dead than
I think you were probably doing fine.
You were
It
just
seemed
fine
like you'd be doing just fine.
till just a few minutes ago.
Like what's good?
What,
Like 10 minutes ago, you were on top of the
Bomer's
world.
like, where is this coming from?
I thought we were pals.
Where's the old Igor? You've never given up on anything in your life, not even being hanged. Riddled with bullets.
Riddled with bullets, you name it. Oh, man. Oh, well.
Chucked in a creepy old laboratory. But better death than
A life like this.
Yep.
With a horn. Will I still be able to play the horn?
Could I play the piano? Yeah, of course. Well, that's good because I could never
Couldn't
before.
Yeah. What is that from?
Oh, everything.
Oh, yeah, I suppose.
It's one of the oldest jokes.
All right, we're done. We've given up. So now it's your turn.
Any more questions, wise ass?
It's time for. It's time to quit. Patreon people, it's time for. Got any wise ass comments? Wise asses, where by our Patreon wise ass level supporters. That's the word I can think of.
Supporters, yes. For just a mere $5 a month, you can become a wise ass.
At least at this time. We haven't jacked it up with inflation or anything.
No.
So what that means is you get a copy of the minute in your email, and if you respond quickly enough, I mean, if you don't respond
at all,
we won't read your comment. Those are the rules. Yeah. Jesus Christ. Will writes, since you used ChatGPT, I didn't. My ChatGPT comment from this one was,
we need to.
Here's ChatGPT. All right, you mad scientists of humor. While we're all about unleashing your wit on minute 55 of The Ghost of Frankenstein, let's remember our comedy lab has some boundaries. Here's a quick rundown of comments that'll have us reaching for the nope button faster than you can say, it's alive. This is ChatGPT. I mean, it finds
All right,
it. I didn't say that.
Yeah,
you know.
no, it did its job.
Denial, parentheses, Frankenstein didn't reanimate that, parentheses. Okay.
Of course, I am going to have to bleep out.
Maybe. Truthism.
No,
We're sticking to
bleep
monster
that
mysteries, folks.
Bleep that out.
2020 fraud.
Oh, that'll have definitely.
Leave the political shockers to the politicians.
That'll definitely have to go.
Flat Earth theories. Our monsters are well-rounded.
Okay.
This is all. Some of this I did feed it, but I put my original post. You have to be a Patreon to read what I asked ChatGPT. Alien abductions. Our monsters have enough on their plate. Cryptid sightings. I don't know why would that be a problem. Frankenstein draws the line at Bigfoot. Conspiracy theories, unless it's about why the monster wears platform shoes, and anything involving a chainsaw. This ain't Texas. Let's keep it monstrous, folks, but leave the truly scary stuff for the silver screen. Yeah, I was just trying to say, just remind listeners that you can't say anything because we have issues.
Yeah.
And ChatGPT took that and ran with it.
We're
apparently.
dangerously close to being banned on YouTube.
I'm sure we're gone by now. Will writes, since you used ChatGPT, I figured I'd do the same. The hosts of Frankenstein Minute want me to leave a wise-ass comment about minute 55 of The Ghost of Frankenstein. In the clip, Ludwig dispatches Boehmer to remove Kettering's brain, which will then be put into the monster's skull. But unbeknownst to Ludwig, Boehmer prepares... This is all him feeding ChatGPT stuff.
All right.
Boehmer prepares to remove Igor's brain instead. Please write a humorous comment about this minute so they can read it aloud on their show and include a truther joke just because they told me not to. ChatGPT says, talk about a brain mix-up. Boehmer must have thought he was playing Operation, but instead of removing the funny bone, he's going straight for Igor's noggin. God. Next thing you know, they'll be blaming Igor for knocking over the Guess those bolts in Frankenstein's neck weren't the only things causing sparks.
Oof.
I am not in any way doubtful that he copied and pasted directly on
Yeah, no,
ChatGPT.
I don't doubt that at all.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, thanks ChatGPT and Will for your comment.
For getting us kicked off of...
Yeah, we're done. This is the end of us, for no doubt about it. But if you're listening on Patreon, you probably won't know because that's just YouTube's kicked us off. Yeah. Mike Herman writes, in a comment here for some reason, the Doctor Who factoids aren't going to be accurate if you keep going down that rabbit hole, Bill. That's a comment on that?
Well, a lot of the Doctor Who factoids don't survive the final cut.
That's a good point. I'm looking at what I wrote to see. I said there are comments they could make that would definitely not be read on the podcast. This is what I told ChatGPT. Give a list of 10 examples, including the and truthism, 2020 and other objectionable shit. Oh, and make the post super funny. Well, they just ignores that.
They ignored that last comment, yeah.
That's it. That's it. We're done. How many minutes?
Well, you didn't even crack 20.
Well, maybe we got some...
Do you got some more YouTube comments? We could just talk about random shit for a few minutes.
Comments and
make it worth people tuning in.
I don't need, here's a comment. I'm not sure where it came from.
Okay. Maybe we can infer from context.
This is a comment on minute 50.
Okay.
Mike Herman writes, why is Lon Chaney Jr. such a poor Frankenstein monster when all the ingredients are there in Lenny for him to be great in the role? Now, I got to take some credit here because I was saying that in minute 50. It really is the $1 million question. The scene of Mice and Men where Lenny crushes Curly's hand is almost more terrifying than anything Chaney Jr. did in a horror film.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it is bizarre. It's an odd...
It could just come down, and somebody has brought this up. I don't know if it was one of our listeners, but it was brought up.
Let's just say it was me. If it was smart, it was probably me.
Oh, okay. No, I believe it was somewhere on Classic Horror Film Board or Facebook or something that it comes down to. Yeah, I believe it was Ted Newsom.
Okay.
Well,
he didn't say this to us.
No, no, it wasn't to us directly.
Okay.
But it was, was he directed to be this somnambulistic, or was it an artistic choice of his?
Yeah, exactly.
And he believes that it was Kenton directing him to be this way because, according to Ted or whoever this was, it was Ted or Don Bluth or somebody like that, Cheney was trying to out-Karloff Karloff. Now, I don't think that's true. I don't think Cheney wanted that career path.
Right. That doesn't seem like what he... Yeah.
Yeah. So to say Universal wanted him to out-Karloff Karloff,
Right.
sure. That was never, ever going to happen.
I don't know, part of the problem with all of this is Karloff already was doing the role the way Roland V. Lee wanted it done in 39.
Yeah.
So
it
was already kind of somnambulistic.
Yeah, it's already been fucked up. So that's kind of a moot point, but that's a good question because he could have really done a lot with it and did nothing.
It makes sense when he's the mummy. Like, that's just a bad job.
That's just...
There's nothing you can do.
That's like, yeah.
You're not going to
like
smile.
Cleaning the toilets.
Having said that, Tom Tyler's better, but not by much.
Tom Tyler's great.
Yeah.
No, I think Tom Tyler, his gaunt appearance.
Yeah, that helps.
The physique that he has, it all helps.
Yeah.
You know, when I was a kid, when those shots where they black out his eyes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that freaked me out a little bit.
Still does.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It's creepy.
It's great.
You know, by the time Cheney inherits it, it's, you know, zipped into costume and a rubber mask glued to his face.
Yep.
His complaints about the makeup, I'm sure it wasn't comfortable having a... Oh,
all right, well, I guess that's a win.
I got to get the cookies out of the oven. The complaint about the makeup, I'm sure it wasn't comfortable wearing that all day, mask glued to your face, but you didn't have to sit in the makeup chair for hours like Tyler and Karloff did.
You know, people have always done this stuff, though. I mean, maybe, again, Doctor Who, people are still getting their face made up for that show, and it happens left and right.
Oh, yeah, it's still a thing, yeah.
I'm sure nobody's in love with it.
No.
Although some people do seem to be. They seem to have their faces made up like cats and stuff like that. You've seen these guys who get like stuff inserted in their heads. I'm like, believe me, God bless you. Go ahead, do whatever you want to do. But wow, it's just
it's a little out there.
Little much for me. It's not really an option for me.
No, they presented that to me when I had my shoulder done. You know, like, while you're here.
Do you want to have like your shoulder have like
a tail that is fully functional?
I thought you meant just your shoulder, like you'd have the little isn't there a guy in Mad Max that has his shoulder pads have like the spikes on them? Yeah. You should get that. You should get the spikes. Too late now. I do have one other comment I found.
When I have the right one done, I will do that.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. Another comment?
Oh.
No?
Well, yeah, but I didn't. If I'd read it in advance, maybe I wouldn't have bothered. It's on minute 47. Check out the slab in my lab. It's somebody called Cahootin.
Okay.
I'm sorry, CAHOOTIN apostrophe, like cahooting.
Like being in cahoots.
Like being in cahoots. And his picture looks to be a 1933 Invisible Man.
Okay.
Love you guys.
Oh, well.
That's the good part.
That's the good part.
It sounds like there might be a short in one of your audio cables.
Yeah. Well, then he replied again saying, oh, yeah, okay, I guess I should have listened longer because he fixed it.
Oh, was that what that was?
Yeah, and then I replied something.
No, I thought that was Barsky.
No.
Oh, I don't know.
That was that same comment. And then I replied back saying, yeah, Henry and I got it figured out.
Well, this is funny. That's
about as far as that went.
Hunt Mason responded, great episode, but missed it on YouTube. Hope you haven't been kicked off. I wonder if that's the episode that I missed. Well, no, this was on the 26th. Maybe we're not on, I don't know. Are we on YouTube?
Yeah, we are.
If we're on YouTube, I always check. Because I use
to see how many downloads there are.
I always share it on the Classic Horror Film Board, too. Mike Herman commented on, so there's a lot of comments that I just missed. See, the stupid app doesn't want to fucking Jesus Christ. Fuck. It doesn't tell me what he's commenting. Oh, okay, on episode 48. Okay, actually, I like this. Mike Herman writes, and the episode is 48, Ralph Bellamy, Private Eye, is that one. And Mike writes, this plays like a mediocre episode of Columbo. Yeah, he doesn't give up. He's tenacious like Columbo, I guess.
Well, there's just one more thing.
That's your
that's as close
Bellamy?
as I'm gonna get. Yeah.
And in response to, I sent the Patreons a reminder about the Rondo Awards, which are long gone now.
Yeah.
Mike writes, voted. I hope it's your lucky year. I'm sure you'll win a Rondo before it's over. I just hope it isn't for discussing House of Dracula. Well,
now I want it to be.
Yeah. And then at some point, Will wrote, yeah, that's a good compromise. So he must be responding to something, but I can't. I'm too stupid to. Oh, here we go. Oh, I don't know what this is from. Oh, wow, there's all kinds of comments.
Holy cow.
Will writes, you're pronouncing Hohenstein right.
Okay.
At least that's how my family family pronounces it, and you'd think they'd know. As for the question of what to do with the Wolfman, I'm firmly in camp minute by minute. With the exception of the original Frankenstein and Bride, I think it's superior to all the movies in this series. And as one of the best in the Universal canon, I believe it deserves the proper treatment rather than just a commentary. Between Siodmak's Larry Gill script and the Dreadstone novelization, there's lots to dig into. And like you guys have always said, after Ghost finishes up, this show is essentially becoming a Wolfman podcast. Anyway, might as well fully embrace that. And Mike responds, I don't think minute by minute for Wolfman, Mike Herman writes.
Yes.
But it needs more than one episode. It's like 70 minutes long. You could cover it in 15 or 10-minute chunks and get about 2 months out of it. And that's where Will said, yeah, that's a good compromise.
Okay.
Also, Will writes, I might be a nerd, but I love Freddy's Dead. So I had talked about Freddy's Dead because I did a panel at the Gallifrey convention in LA in February, where I sat next to the director, and she was not impressed by my, I don't know, I was a pretty lame host or whatever that's called, moderator. It's like a gory Tex Avery cartoon. Yeah. I mean, by that point, that's what those movies are.
That's kind of what they have become, yeah.
Yeah, I do. You have to appreciate it on that level, or don't watch it. There's no other level.
Right.
I'd be starstruck to spend an afternoon with Rachel Talalay, who I'm sure wishes people would forget that movie. I mean, yeah, that's kind of the impression. And I was starstruck by her. And I'm not starstruck always.
Right.
I'm often starstruck, but not always. And she definitely. Yeah. I mean, I feel like intimidated by people that do creative work like that.
I would love to talk to her about Tank Girl, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. She has a tweet that I remember I just saw recently where she was in an Uber or something, and the guy doing the Uber driver recommended a movie called Tank Girl to her. I love that. It's like, I just saw this crazy movie called Tank Girl.
Check it out.
It's like, yeah, I've seen it. Mike writes, I saw Frankenhooker for the first time recently. It's on Tubi.
Okay.
So we must have talked about that.
Yeah. Because Vincent asked us if we were...
You're going to do that minute by minute?
No. If we had a choice, like the Desert Island movie or whatever, the one movie.
Right, it was Frankenhooker and...
Between Ghost of Frankenstein and Frankenhooker, we both chose Frankenhooker.
When the title character is on screen, it is amazing, but unfortunately she doesn't get much screen time, and it isn't until the very end. Okay. Yeah. I haven't seen it, I don't think. So that's why I probably would say, yeah, let's watch that. And...
No, I enjoyed it. I referenced the fact that when it was released, 89, 90, somewhere in there, early 90s, the poster said, if you see one movie this year, make it Frankenhooker, Bill Murray.
Oh, yeah.
There's reason enough to have seen it.
There you go.
All right.
On minute 50, are we out of time?
No, we're good.
Because I'm finding all kinds of comments now.
Okay,
These are from
we might as well
months ago.
just clear out the comment closet.
Catherine Jensen writes, I hope she really, really likes that quilt. Yeah, because she's going to be stuck in it for quite some time. Yeah. Not just weeks long in our podcast, but how many days in that set. Yeah. Background noise comment, also known as John Hazard, I believe, writes, I think Junior has a big future as a burrito rapper. And then he puts in parentheses, burrito rappist? No. I'm sure you guys will make note of Chaney's emoting here when he gives the little girl a teeny tiny smile. And I think we did.
We did.
The way the monster is portrayed post-Bride is very frustrating for us Frankie files.
Yes.
We don't want a lumbering zombie. Zombies have that covered.
Yep.
And we certainly don't want our beloved creature's brain replaced by Igor's and thrown out in a viscerian garbage dump. But here we are. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Oh, and then I'm finding
oh my God,
tons of stuff. Vincent sent us a YouTube clip.
Oh, he did?
The countryside's been combed. Oh.
Was it?
Guys with a comb, combing the desert from Spaceballs.
Yes.
There you go. Visual joke doesn't work so good on a podcast. And I think, you know what, that's it. If they missed anything, I'm sorry. There's probably Facebook comments. Every once in a while there's a Facebook comment. But they make it so, whether it's intentional, I don't know, but they make it borderline impossible to find anything. Mm-hmm. So, there you go. And I went to Facebook and someone liked my comment because someone wrote on a different group, they wrote, watching The Werewolf, and what a great actor Claude Rains was. He's in so many great films. So this guy responds, Claude Rains was in The Wolfman, all one word. So I responded, no, he was in The Wolf Space Man. Yeah. And he liked it. There you go.
There we go.
How many minutes did we get?
Oh, we're good.
Good. That's good. That's all I need to know.
Yeah. Go to bed, old man.
Go to bed, old man.